I'm joined by Kyle Balgamase. Welcome, Kyle.
How are you?
Raja Suleiman with Orzhov.
Max McVitie.
Congratulations, Brian to Mars.
Zach Allen. I wouldn't be here without these guys, though. So.
And the champion of Proto Counter-Attack here, Relax.
Alright, welcome to RW Hobbies and Games in Livonia, Michigan, where we are making magic happen. I'm Zach Allen, joined by
Raja Solomon.
And today we have some Paper Modern for you. We're going to be playing Temur Reclamation versus Gruul Ponza Beats, whatever you want to call it. You know what it is.
Yeah, you've seen it before.
Yep. Before we get into the deck breakdown, if you like the content we're making, please remember to like and subscribe to the video. It really helps us grow the channel. It really helps us keep making these videos. So, again, we would appreciate it.
Yeah, leave a comment. If you comment, I guarantee you there will be a reply to your comment. There will be acknowledgement. It's our guarantee.
The RW guarantee. Okay, so I've got Temur Reclamation in front of me. You've probably seen this deck absolutely destroying Standard. It's becoming very popular in Historic. It's becoming very popular in Pioneer. We're playing a bit of a different take on it in Modern. This is popularized by Lava Ridge, user Lava Ridge on MTGO, who won the PTQ for Zendikar Rising this past weekend. They were playing a bit of an interesting take on it. They have no expansion explosion. That's not how we're winning. I know that's the win con in the other formats that play Reclamation. Here we're using Field of the Dead. Just
the Reclamation's purpose in this deck is just to actually just double your mana.
Yeah, you
want more mana. That's all you want.
Yeah, you actually are just a very expensive deck. So, but the win cons are Field of the Dead, one of the most powerful lands in Modern. It's been dominant in Amulet Titan. We'll see how good it plays out here, but it seems pretty good in this deck. And the way we're kind of enabling Field of the Dead is Growth Spiral and Uro. Uro's the other real win condition. But these two ramp up your mana. Then you have Wilderness Reclamation to double the mana. Then we also have Nexus of Fate here as a win condition because if you cast Nexus of Fate enough and just draw enough of your library, which Uro and Fact or Fiction will let you do, you just get to take all the turns for the rest of the game. We only have one copy because it's not great, but it's good enough in the deck and really powerful in blue matchups. This probably isn't the matchup for it, but really powerful in blue matchups. So that is an aspect the deck has. All of this is powered by Fact or Fiction, basically, which is, a very powerful card draw spell. It's been restricted in Vintage. It's historically one of the best card draw spells in Magic.
Was it banned in Legacy at one point, or am I just making that up?
I don't think it was banned in Legacy.
But a long time ago?
It's possible. Who knows?
Yeah.
But historically, it was considered one of the best card draw spells ever printed. It's not quite Ancestral Recall level, but still very powerful.
Yep.
And we're kind of abusing the fact that it looks at 5 cards. The opponent separates them into 2 piles. You get the cards you want out of those 2 piles, and then the others go to the graveyard. So it really works well with Uro. You can just always bot or bin the pile that has an Uro in it, so that you can just flashback Uro next turn. It's in play.
Yep.
And it really, if you just keep casting Fact or Fictions, using Mystic Sanctuary to put it back on top, cast it again, it really empties your library really quick, so you do get to these Nexus of Fate endgames. The way we're trying to survive to do all this degenerate land, Uro, Nexus of Fate stuff is Lightning Bolt, probably the best removal spell in Modern, maybe Push, Path, who knows, but it's definitely right there in that tier 1 removal spells.
For sure.
Remand to just kind of cycle through your library, buy some time. Force Negation to cheat on mana even more, hit the really problematic cards like a Blood Moon, for instance, and Cryptic Command, which just, Cryptic Command, Mystic Sanctuary is just this combo in Modern now that's just so powerful. You just have to, any deck that can incorporate it probably should, and this deck does it really well.
Yeah, and it costs 4 mana, which is the same amount as Wilderness Reclamation, so the turn you play Rec, you can just untap and have Cryptic up immediately, which is very powerful.
Yeah, that's not very fun to play against, but that's definitely something this deck is trying to do. So, Raja, you want to explain what you brought to the table today?
Yeah, this is Red Green Ponza. I'm sure you've seen this deck before. Nothing too fancy here. Our Mana Accelerator is very important for any draw. A little bit of interaction, Lightning Bolt, One-Push Giant, and then we have the Ponza aspect of the deck, which is Magus to the Moon to, make their spells hard to cast, and Pillage to set them back on mana. And then we have some threats that also happen to double as ways to gain life and exile cards from graveyards. They both do the exact same effect, just differently. And then we refuel with Seasoned Pyromancer and Chandra, Torch of Defiance. Great cards on their own, rare card draw effects in the red deck. And then we have some haste threats in the form of Bloodbraid Elf and Glorybringer, which can also pick off a creature or, cascade something important. Deck's been around for a bit, pretty straightforward, but I think this deck's actually still pretty good. So.
Yeah. We'll see. I am kind of nervous that Blood Moon effects, Pillage effects are going to be really powerful against this deck. We'll see how that plays out. But also, I am really reliant on counter spells, and Bloodbraid Elf is really good against those. So
yes, but yeah, and Uro's going to be very good against me, but at least I have some sort of counterplay in the main deck in the form of Scavenging Ooze and Clothis.
Yeah, this deck seems like the type of this deck has definitely taken Mystic Sanctuary and Uro into account with its deck building. It's heavy on Clothis and Scavenging Ooze, and both of those are good ways to kind of make Mystic Sanctuary and Uro a lot worse.
For sure.
So let's shuffle them up and see how this goes.
Let's do it.
All right, we're back with a die roll. Raja, let's see who goes first. What do you want?
Odd.
Odd? Even or odd? What'd you say?
I think I said odd.
Odd. All right, you're
Odd.
an odd one for sure.
Let's do
but
it.
he's going with odd, so it's
See,
been
the odd never
like every
fails.
time. Yeah, odd never fails. It's feels kind of cheaty, but we'll accept it.
I will keep the hands pretty strong.
Don't like to hear that. I think this card's really good in the matchup. This hand isn't necessarily built to use it very well, but I'm going to keep it because this is just a really powerful core card, so let's see what happens.
Okay. How many Field Rune do you put in your deck?
One.
Just the one?
Just one.
Alright. I'll let her play around this then.
Alright.
Oh yeah, it's not going. Good.
Put everyone's favorite Ketria Triumph into play tapped and
Nice.
pass.
I'll thank you for one.
Yeah?
I'll play the Arbor Elf.
Okay.
Good.
Oh, this is... I'm sorry. I'm going to shock down to 17 because I got attacked for one. You get 17?
Uh-huh.
Play Ren and 6. And
no.
we'll shoot an Arbor Elf.
That's not good at all.
I kept the hit with Ren and 6. I was like, oh, this is going to be really good here. Go ahead.
Well, it was good. I will Utopia Sprawl this, naming red.
Mm-hmm.
I will untap it, and I will crush your Ren and 6.
Oh, no.
Good.
I was really hoping I get to pick that Arbor Elf off. That's not as good as I would have liked. I don't think my life total's in a ton of jeopardy. You've had somewhat of a slow start. I think it's fine to just shock here and pass to you.
Okay. I will untap.
15 for all.
Alright, so this feels like a good spot for Zach to lead with counter magic, which I'd like to punish by casting this card. So I'm going to untap. I'm actually going to leave a green floating. We don't have anything to do with that mana, either way, with this red. And I'd like to be able to activate Scavenging Ooze if I hit it. So I'm going to leave a green floating and cast Bloodbraid Elf.
Okay.
Casting trigger.
Yep.
Alright, Bone Crusher Giant. I will just cast the Bone Crusher as a 4/3.
You don't want to shock me?
Nope.
Stop? No?
I'm good.
Alright. That's fine.
And what about the Bloodbraid Elf? How's that looking?
Yeah, it's, you know what? I'm gonna cast a Growth Spiral in response to it on the stack.
Okay.
I'm gonna put a Mystic Sanctuary into play off the Growth Spiral. I could put Growth Spiral on top, but I'm not super interested in that, so I'm just gonna pass. And, yep, that results.
Back to 3.
I go to 12, and all of a sudden my shock play is looking a little awkward.
Go ahead.
Draw. So I'm under a fair bit of pressure here. On board I'm taking 8, which would put me to 4, but if you have like a Glory Bringer here, I'd actually go to 1, which is I think acceptable for where I'm at. And I kind of just want to get this going, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to play Wilderness Reclamation. I'm going to play a Scalding Tarn for the turn.
Okay.
And I could like fetch a tap land and untap it with Wilderness Reclamation, but I'm not going to use. Well, you know what, I might actually use the mana, and I want to get a basic here. Just play around Blood Moon effects, so I'm actually just going to fetch now. Go to 11. I'm going to get an Snow-Covered Island. I'm going to go to end step, float a blue, untap all my lands, tap these, and cast Factor Fiction.
Results.
Opt, Remand, Lightning Bolt, Castle Ventress, Scalding Tarn.
Alright, well, we don't like the Lightning Bolt here. We want to make sure Zach feels like he's under as much pressure as possible. I think we're going to go ahead and separate these kind of piles, just so, yeah, so the bolt pile's as bad as it can get without it making it way too good on the other side. I don't think I care as much about these cards, so yeah, those are my piles.
Alright, I would like a bolt here. It really cuts you off a lot of mana if I bolt the Arbor Elf. You can also bolt the Bloodbraid Elf and cut your clock down quite a bit. A lot of things I'm scared of good against it, but I think this pile is just too much better for this turn, so I'm going to take these, put them in my hand, and bin these.
Okay.
That's deep.
Alright, so we're going to make 2, untap, and cast this Bloodbraid Elf, which kind of gets around his Remand. Cascade trigger.
Yep.
And Arbor Elf.
So I actually just want to cycle through this. I'm going to Remand the Bloodbraid Elf.
Okay.
I think that's a weird play, but I think it's right.
Makes sense. Then I will get you for 7.
7, I go to 4.
And then I will pass turn.
Alright. So I'm going to draw for turn. Oh, that's a really good draw.
So hitting Arbor Elf wasn't the worst thing we could have done there. Obviously it looks kind of anemic, but we are low on mana, and given our hand, we actually have a decent amount of things to do with our mana.
So I'm going to start my turn. No, you know what? I'm not going to do that. I'm going to play a Castle Ventress as my land for turn.
Okay.
And then I'm going to cast Uro.
Okay.
So this will put me up to 7. Draw off Uro. I get to put a land into play. I'm going to fetch down to 6. We're going to get Snow-Covered Forest, sure. And then I'm going to flashback Uro. We're going to exile 1, 2, 3, 4, and a Remand. That's 5.
Okay.
No, you know what? I'm going to exile the Growth Spiral over the Remand.
Alright, with Uro's trigger on the stack, I'm going to just... Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, so I get to draw. I go up to 9.
Yep.
And then put a land into play, which is going to be a Field of the Dead. I have 2 breeding pools, but every other land is different, so that makes me a Zambi.
Sure does.
And then I'm going to go to my end step and untap these. This feels dirty. I'll pass to you.
Looks pretty dirty. Alright. Alright, we'll make 4 mana
Yep.
and cast Blood Ray Elf.
Cascade trigger.
Next game.
Ooh, I don't like Maggie.
I guess in response, I will untap my land here.
That makes Utopia Sprawl fall off if the
It
results,
does.
right?
Sure
That's
does.
awkward.
Yeah, it does.
I'm gonna respond to Magus and cast the ops you know about.
Okay.
Don't really want that one. We'll bottom it. Draw. It's a really awkward draw with what Raj has had in play going on here. And I guess my next course of action is going to be to cast a Factor Fiction. I'm gonna off.
Okay. Results.
Nope, sorry. We go Cryptic, Wilderness Wreck, Opt, Misty, another Uro. Can never get away from Uro, huh?
Nope. Three cards in the edge?
4 cards.
4 cards. Jeez. I guess I'll do it. Yeah. I really don't like this command. I'll do it like that.
Alright, I'm going to take this pile. These go to my hand. This goes in my graveyard. I'm still going to respond to Magic of the Moon and cast an Opt.
It's
Oh,
fine. You're fine.
You want to respond?
You're fine.
I'll bottom that. Draw. I guess I'm still going to respond to Magus of the Moon
Okay.
and cast a Growth Spiral.
Yeah. Yep.
Good.
Yep.
Alright, get results.
You have a million cards in hand?
7. And probably not a land because I would have put them in play.
Yep. So it's results. Come in.
Mm-hmm.
Take it.
I'll block like this and this.
Take 3.
Yep. Zombie dies. Go to 6.
Lightning bolt you.
I'm gonna force a negation, pitching, anything. I'll pitch. Cryptic Command.
A lightning bolt arrow.
Force negation, pitch. A remand.
Yeah, good.
Alright. Draw for turn. That one's a bit late, turns out. You don't have a lot of pressure on the board though. I'm at 6. You don't even have access to green mana anymore, right?
Nope.
So that's kind of awkward for you.
Yep.
I'm going to start the turn by attacking him with Uro. Draw a card. I'll put this in play.
Alright, I'll take it. Get your trigger.
So I have a lot of mountains. I'm not making Zombos anymore, which would be really good here. was a little short on red mana previously. I am no longer short on red mana. I have a lot of it.
Yep.
I am going to, I guess I'd rather tap the Field of the Dead. Doesn't really matter. Cast the other Uro. Draw a card, go to 12. Put a Field Rune in play. And go to end step. Sure.
Combat?
Yep.
Second favorite.
No blocks. What's that for? 7?
Yep.
Puts me to 5.
Good.
Alright. Draw for turn. Gonna go to combat. Take with the Uro trigger.
Yep. I think today's been the video of me keeping 1-landers and just getting as punished as possible in the time.
Sure.
As much as I can.
I'm not gonna put a land in play. Damage?
Yep.
You took it?
Yep.
I'm gonna tap this for red. Bolt the Magus of the
Did
Moon.
you gain life yet? You haven't gained life.
Oh, I haven't
yet.
gained life, no.
You're 8.
Bolt the Magus of the Moon.
Yeah, that's gonna break this game wide open.
I'm gonna put a Mystic Sanctuary into play now. That will get me a zombie. It's gonna put Lightning Bolt back on top. So I have these 2 lands I could use. I'm gonna go ahead and cast another Uro. Draw the bolt to 11. Fetch this down to 10. I'll get an island. I'm at 10. With another zombie. I'm going to Field of Ruin your Stomping Ground.
Oh, I wouldn't do that if I were you.
Why not?
It turns my rebels on. Oh, it does
They're
matter now.
already
They're already
on,
on. I will float green.
Okay. That's going to get me a forest and another zombie. I'm going to play another Wilderness Rack. Bolt your Bloodbraid Elf. Go to end step. First untap.
I'm continuing.
No, keep playing!
No,
Where are you going?
You're playing with your food way too much.
Where are you going? Come back!
I was trying a 3rd quarter finger. I just can't hit land drops, man. It's really frustrating.
Castle
I
Vantress.
know I took the 1-lander with Arbor Elf Utopia Sprawl, but like, Jesus Christ.
Bottom.
Does that mean I have to play the rest of the game
Castle
without land?
Vantress. Archmage is turn on the top. We're gonna find Nexus of Fate at some point there. We're getting close.
Great.
It's gonna be great. I was really excited about it. Alright, we're back for some post-board action. We're going to talk about some sideboarding. So, in this matchup, I want to cut some of my remans. I like remand because you do have some expensive spells, but it's pretty bad against Bloodbraid Elf, so I definitely want to trim. Although I do think the other counter spells are worse. I'm trimming a Force, a Cryptic, and cutting the only Archmage's Charm because I don't like the super blue intensive heavy spells against a deck with Choke, Magus of the Moon, Pillage, yeah, just all of that. So I'm going to trim down on some of those. I am leaving in some Forces to respect, you know, Choke, you could have Boil, all these things. I mean, I get to see what you're bringing in, right?
Yeah, but I mean, you already know there's cards like Chandra. And
yeah. So I think leaving in 2 Forces is totally fine. I'm cutting Nexus of Fate because you never let me have my fun with it anyway, so I'm going to cut the Nexus. And
Zach, for those of you guys wondering, Zach wishes I would not concede so fast when he had 10 power in play. I was at 5. I had 4 permanents left in play. Zach had about 13 or so.
keep playing, we were fine. Alright, and I'm going to cut the Snapcaster Mage because you've got Relic, you've got Clothis, you've got Scavenging Ooze. I think, you know, the Uro and Mystic Sanctuary stuff is enough graveyard stuff. It's going to be taxed to even use that, so I definitely don't want Snapcaster. I'm bringing in 4 Gust because you're a red-green deck, so it hits every permanent you can play, every spell you can play. I think it's really good. Angers to deal with Bloodbraid Elf, Bonecrusher Giant,
Season Pyromancer, really nicely.
Arbor Elf, yeah, all of them. Anger's great here.
Yep.
And the Abrade to hit a creature. I don't know, you got creatures, so you can pop one off.
Sure, I guess that's fine. Yeah, I guess that kind of acknowledged some of the stuff I was doing here. Boarding out the 4 bolts. Zach doesn't have really good targets. It's really just going at his face, and I'm not really looking to play a Lava Spike in my deck. Glorybringer is, you know, it's not easy to get in play, and then a lot of his counter magic just trades up, especially Aether Gust is a really good one at it. 2 mana for 5 mana spell is not where you want to be. Bring in relics. I have more than 2, but between the 2 Scavenging Oozes and the 3 Clothis, I feel like I have enough voice to attack his graveyard that I don't want to overdo it, because it's not really a proactive thing otherwise. And then the chokes, like Zach mentioned, if I can get it before he gets his Reclamation in play, keep his lands locked down, at least a couple of them. He does have a handful of non-islands in that deck, so it's not going to be what it is against certain decks, but it's still going to be enough that I'm interested in it. And then I have 2 Cinder Vines. Zach's got almost only non-creature spells in his deck, so it's going to sit there and ping him for a while. And then he does have a nice target for me in the form of the Wilderness Reclamation if he does get it in play.
Yep. And yeah, you have more chokes, like you could bring in the 3rd copy, but I agree with you. I think drawing the first one's pretty good, drawing the second one's pretty bad.
If the first one was better, finding the first one was important enough, I'd probably bring in the 3rd one, but I'm not convinced that the first one's going to be that good to where I'd be drawing a second one and it's doing absolutely nothing.
Yeah, and it's interesting because I do have a lot of islands in the deck. I'm a deck that relies on blue mana quite a bit, so it would be good against me, but Wilderness Reclamation is a pretty good counter to it.
Yep.
And
you have 4 Aether Gusts.
I have 4 Aether Gusts. I also, I am a Field of the Dead deck, so I have some random lands, like a Castle of Ventress or whatever, so I can get some blue mana, but...
Forests.
Yeah, forests. It's still, you know, I mean...
You should have played that Frontier Bivouac, though. That got your
the Frontier Bivouac could have saved me,
yeah.
Yeah, that would be tough. Alright, let's shuffle up and play. God. Never thought you'd be praying for a Frontier Bivouac. But here we are. Welcome to Modern.
Alright, so we're back for game 2 here. I'm going to be on the play because I lost. Yeah. This hand's fine. I'll keep.
My hand's okay. I got lands and spells, so harder mulligan to hand with that. Yeah, I like it. I'll keep.
Cool. Forest, Utopia Sprawl, Naming Red. Good. I'm sorry, would you like to count this?
Yep.
Alright.
What if Foothills go?
Forest, Utopia Sprawl. Targeting this land.
Yeah.
I'll name Red.
Okay.
Good.
I'm gonna go ahead and fetch. Puts me to 19. Catch your Triumph. It's coming.
Is that an island?
It is an island. Yeah.
Oh, good to know. Good to know.
This deck just wouldn't feel right if you just didn't fetch Catcher Triumph turn 1 every single game. It's always ready for you there. Just feeling good. Alright. Draw. That's a pretty good one. I'm going to play a Misty Rainforest and pass to you.
Alright, I'll Bone Crusher you. I'll stop you.
Stop! I'm at 17.
Tap, draw. Alright, I will play this land from my hand.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm not going to play this land yet. I'm just going to cast a Bloodbraid Elf. Cascade Tree. Arbor Elf.
Arbor Elf resolves.
Commit. Or is the Bloodbraid Elf resolved?
Bloodbraid Elf resolves. You go to combat. I am... Cards in hand?
3.
I think this is a fine time to just take it. I'll go to 14.
Alright, then go.
I'm going to fetch down to 13. I'm going to get... Snow-covered forest.
Uh-oh. Is this Growth Spiral?
Yeah, I'm just going to Growth Spiral.
Oh, no.
Cast Growth Spiral, draw, put Scalding Tarn into play, fetch to 12, I'm gonna get Snow-Covered Island.
So yeah, I could have put this Utopia Sprawl in the same forest, and made Arbor Elf stronger. But if Zach has like a Cryptic command, he can bounce this and undo 2 of them, which would be really devastating. And I don't think the upside of getting 1 additional mana was worth that Harbor blowout.
I agree. And then I'm gonna cast an Opt.
Just going off, man. Just going off.
That's actually pretty good here, but I don't need the effect necessarily. I'm gonna bottom that. I'm looking for engine. Draw that. That's kind of awkward, actually. Draw for turn.
Your eyes just lit up. You're just so happy right now.
Yeah. That was a good draw. I didn't realize how good that would be. Alright, well, hello. Alright, I'm just gonna put a Field of the Dead in play, tapped and pass to you.
Okay. I will fetch down to 19.
I'm gonna respond to your fetch. And Aether Gust the Blood right off.
Okay. Alright, there's a specific card I'd like to draw here.
Is it Choke?
No.
Pillage?
No. It was that one.
Was it?
Yeah. I'll fetch down to 18. Is there a reason not to be just able to agree here and get stomping ground here? Yeah, I'll get stomping ground. And this is a nice spot to just resolve a Voidbringer. Zach doesn't have Gust up, he doesn't have Remand up, doesn't have Cryptic Command up. And once it's in play, he doesn't have a Bullet, doesn't have Anger God, so it's pretty good. And I'll get you for 4.
Go to 8.
Okay. And then I'm going to untap here and cast a Season Pyromancer.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're just looking for a land there to be able to cast both those spells this turn. And I'll pass.
I'm gonna bolt your Seasoned Pyromancer.
Okay.
And draw for turn.
She had the bolt. I wonder why you bolted the Bloodbraid Elf instead of... Or why you didn't bolt the Bloodbraid Elf and lead up the Gust.
I have a reason. You'll see in a little bit.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Alright, because this is lethal, we're going to see if we can resolve it. Bloodbraid.
I'm gonna gust it.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna put that on top just because it's actually not that bad in this spot here. And I'll get Zach for 4.
Yep.
Second main, I'll untap a Utopia Strong Forest and cast one Fresh Giant Exile. Good.
I'm gonna feel the ruin stomping ground.
Okay. Do you have Scavenging Ooze in my deck? I think there's a way for Zach to interact with my Utopia Sprawls. I think we've seen his deck doesn't really have ways to do that. So I'm just going to get 1 more green mana. think 3 is probably enough red. Actually, I'm gonna get Mountain. I don't think it's necessarily enough.
Alright. Draw for turn.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm just dead. I do think I maybe messed up by not bolting the elf.
And gusting.
Yeah.
Leaving up gust.
Leaving up gust. I thought the chance was too good to do it there. The reason my eyes lit up was because I drew blast zone, so I was gonna blow up everything.
Oh, that's a way for you to answer that.
I kept trying to figure out a good spot to do it, but you just kept drawing like the turn where you drew haste threat plus pyromancer to draw 2 more was just too much. And so Braid was just riding my hand, not doing anything. So yeah, that's tough.
Yeah, I guess Northbringer's a little better than I thought he was, just because like your removal doesn't hit it, but like except for gust.
The Path to Exile deck, it's pretty bad against like the Purge, Gust when they have like 10 things that hit it.
Yeah.
Against this deck, I really just have Gust. I can remand it, but that's not like the end of the world for you. It's not great, but
yeah, it's not great. Yeah, there's a chance I want maybe the third one. I'm not sure. All right, we're back for game 3. It's important in Magic that you reconsider sideboarding for every game. You don't just lock into the configuration for post-board games. It's important to see how cards line up on the play in the draw, and also to be willing to acknowledge that maybe your understanding of the matchup was wrong. And I think in this situation, I undervalued the power of a 4 toughness creature, just because Zach has got bolts, Anger of the Gods, Beam Song, and Braid. So for that reason, I'm actually bringing an Obstinate Bailoff. The gain 4 life and the discard thing doesn't really matter here, but this is really just a 4-mana 4/4 in a deck that can put it into play fast. And that's really all I can ask for. I can ask for more, but I'm okay with it. I'm okay with the 4-mana 4/4. And then the Glorybringer we saw was actually pretty good there. Obviously, you can get Aether Gusted, but just the pressure of a haste creature with 4 toughness is really nice. And then I'm bringing in one more Relic, and it's only because I just don't want these cards anymore. I'm going to board out the Pillages. They're a lot worse on the draw. And Zach is a Growth Spiral deck that can get ahead on mana pretty fast, and if I'm just sitting there destroying his lands, I'm not really doing enough. And then Cindervine's worse on the draw again, of course, just because he can start casting his cantrips before it comes into play. He's only got like 2 targets for it, and I don't know that the ping is necessarily enough in a deck that plays Uro, because they can easily buffer their life total. So for that reason, I'm boarding these 5 cards out and bringing these 5. Zach, any comments?
Not going to change anything. I like the adjustment. Go to 4 toughness creatures against this deck. That makes sense to me. We'll see. You also are upping your curve on the draw against a remand deck. We'll see if this pays off for you.
For sure. That's definitely a risk.
All right. Game 3 for the Marblaze. Well, that's a good start to any hand. Actually, it's kind of awkward, but I'm not going to complain. All right, this hand's decent.
Yeah. My hand's a keep.
Good?
Yep.
Go.
Forest, Sprawl, Red.
Go.
Alright. So I'm going to go play Windswept Heath down to 19. I get a Forest. And I'm going to cast Magus of the Moon. Zach's sled on 2 non-basics. Obviously I can just be turning on his Lightning Bolt for him. But if he doesn't have it here, I'm really putting him in a bind.
Yeah, this is a really big problem for me.
So
There's a Magus of the Moon, and I didn't specifically already have the bolt that I drew for turn, so...
yeah, obviously. I mean, Zach Allen.
Alright, we're going to play around the choke. Make it a stomping ground, go to 17, then back to 20, so you don't even need to worry about it.
Oh, what does that
Play
mean?
an Uro.
What does that mean?
Uro, back to 20, draw. Pass to you.
Okay. Well, we like seeing that. Well,
Pretty close to putting this Uro in play.
Zach's pretty far from casting an Uro, which is nice. We have a few options here. Quite a few options. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and play Clothis. Just because I know Zach isn't close to putting the Uro in play, but I really, really want to take any opportunity to get rid of it as fast as possible. Because if he tries gusting, I can keep redrawing it until it's gone, right?
Yeah.
And I'm actually going to go ahead and crack the word fills right now for a stopping ground so that Zach cannot respond with a gust on my Clothis.
Good.
Go.
Oh, this is awkward.
This is like me in every single match we played today. Oh, second Uro.
True.
Oh god.
At 23, draw. Go ahead.
Alright. So I'm going to draw. The pre-combat main phase, I will exile an Uro. So you will lose 2 and I'll gain 2.
At 21.
I really like playing this card into Zach not having open mana. So I'm going to fetch. Just get as mana as I can, because now I'm under duress here, and Clothis will keep me healthy for the rest of the game. And I'm just going to cast the Glorybringer.
Sure.
And I'll attack you for 4.
17.
Go ahead.
Land, please. How about 4 drop? How's that sound? I'm gonna cast a Growth Spiral.
Okay.
Get it.
Out there.
Land.
Alright.
So good. Yeah.
Pass him?
Yep.
Alright. Let's keep draw. Pre-combat main phase. We'll target the other Uro.
It's gone.
You don't know how happy I am to do this after losing to Uro so many times today. No, you lose 2. You take 2, I should say. And then we're gonna, now that Zach's got some open mana, I'm gonna go ahead and cast my Bloodbraid Elf. Cascade trigger.
Cascade trigger.
I'm gonna hit an Arbor Elf.
Okay.
Resolves?
Wait a minute. Yeah, I saw it happen already. Yeah, that resolves.
Is there something you want to do?
I think there's a chance I was supposed to do this in response to the Cascade just to get rid of the Glorybringer.
Oh, that's pretty clever. You can do that. I don't think it's...
Well, I so like if you hit like a choke or something, I wouldn't have done it. So
that's fair.
It's
like
tough to backtrack on that. Yeah, that I mean that resolves. I'm not going to stop this.
Okay.
Clothis is on right now, right?
He is.
But if I get rid of Glorybringer, he will not
be
be.
one short.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna fetch. I'll get an island.
So he's gonna put you to 14.
I'm gonna gust the Glorybringer.
Yeah. Does he tell me cards? Million?
5 cards.
5 cards. I think we have so many things to do with our mana that I'd rather. No, I'm still going to take Glorybringer, put on top.
Okay.
And I'll take you for 3.
11.
Good.
Draw. I'm gonna go to 10. This is actually an awkward decision. I think I'm supposed to just get a mountain here. I'm gonna need a lot of red mana this game to deal with your board.
Yeah.
And flashing back Uro is the only thing I need double green for, and that's not looking super likely.
Yeah,
at
one copy
this
left, right?
exact moment.
Yeah.
No, you know what? I need to get forced. I'm thinking about this more.
Okay.
This is a really tough fetch.
Yeah.
Apologies for the back and forth, but I think this is right.
It's all good.
Alright, and then I'm going to play Wilderness Reclamation. Go to my end step, float a blue, untap. And then I'm going to cast Factor Fiction.
Results. Oh man, these spec files are so tough. I really don't want Zach to have Growth Spiral here. Probably the most intimidating part here, because it does have a Fielded Rune. It's kind of close to getting active. Yeah, 10. Although if Zach casts Growth Spiral here, it means he's not casting a Gust or a Remand, which is pretty sick. We know he's been struggling with lands. He can still cast this during his next turn to get his 7th land into play. Strong. It's kind of a whatever card here. If he does put a land into play, I guess I'd rather be a Misty for more damage. I think this is. Well, these are my files.
I'll take this one.
Okay.
Your turn.
So we know we're drawing Glorybringer. We got 10. Alright, I'm going to choose to exile a Misty Reinforcer to make red mana.
Okay.
I will start by casting a Blood Elf.
Results.
Seasoned Pyromancer, which I will cast. Am I good? We discard Choke, Glorybringer, draw 2. And we know we have Cultist turned on now. Even if Zach is to deal with 2 pips, we have 8 pips, so we're covered against that. So I'm just going to go to combat. I'll attack you for equal.
I'm going to cast Opt.
Okay.
We need to find a bolt here right now.
Okay.
I think it's a bolt.
I don't know, is it?
No, it's one of the lands I needed for 15 turns.
Okay.
Of course it is. That never would have mattered. Yep. So I needed that Factor Fiction to find interaction. My hand was just more Factor Fictions and Uros. That's just all I drew for
You have a
20
third
turns.
Uro, okay.
Well, that's why I went back and got the 4th. Was like I'm like, okay, well I need to set up so next turn I can go Uro, put 2 lands in play, hope that my because I knew I was dead to the Glorybringer. I didn't think you would cast it based on me just leaving up 2 mana and like it being really bad against Remand.
I had a lot of good. Like I was going to go Blood Elf and Chandra by using the extra mana this turn.
Sure.
This was going to guarantee that the Cultist was going to be turned on, assuming you didn't have both an answer for this and like a Force Negation.
Sure. I mean,
You did have the Force Negation. Okay.
I guess what yeah, that was tough. Just missing the like I kept a 3-land hand with Uro and Wilderness Wreck, and I just drew Factor Fiction, Uro, like.
Yeah.
If I had hit my 4th land at all, I would have been just like casting Fact every turn, which would have started to bury it at some point there, but
Yeah.
didn't find it, so wasn't doing that.
Right. All right. Well, thanks for watching again, guys. Please like, subscribe, comment as much as you can. It really helps out the channel.
And thanks for stopping by. I really appreciate it.
See you guys till next time.
Bye.